Okay, so we go now to PLC systems and its operation. Okay, so we have here the major components of your PLC, no? So we have here your processor, your power supply, the PMs or programming device, then you have the input module, the output modules, and so on. Okay, so what are the functions of each of the components? So for your uh, processor here, you have your central processing unit or your CPU, which composes of your processor, the memory, which is inside your processor, and your power supply. Okay, so we define the CPU or central processing unit as the brain or the heart of the system. Why? Because it contains your processor and memories. Okay, so what is the basic function of your processor? Processor carries out the logic operations. Okay, so the programs that you have done or created will be processed into your processor. Okay, and even the data are to be processed here. How about your memory? Memory, it is where information is stored, manipulated, and remembered. Okay, so you have also memories here in your central processing unit. Okay, there is what we call a ROM or a RAM inside your processor. Then you have the power supply. Power supply, this is electrical supply that converts line voltage AC to operational DC values of different values. So your PLC is connected directly to your outlet, which is in the AC and the form of AC, and it will be converted to DC to run your PLC. Now your PLC will also have outputs in the form of DC, okay, with different values, or you can also have an output in the form of AC. It depends on the requirement of your process system. If your, for example, if your system or the output of your system requires an AC signal, then we can also use, or we can select a PLC with an AC output. Okay, so next is your programmer monitor or PM. Okay, the programmer is the keyboard on which the program instructions are typed. So basically, this is your computer. Okay, not your PLC but your computer. Okay, you have keyboard there where your instructions are being uh, typed. Okay, so then you have the monitor is a TV-like screen on which operating information is displayed. So when you type your program, automatically it will be shown in the screen. Okay? So there are also PMs nga gagmay lang siya kaayo, mura siya calculator nga naa siya gamay pod nga monitor, and then naay part nga keyboards. You can also use that one katong mga PLCs nga which doesn't need actually a high-end computer, no? You can use the PMs or the programmer monitor type, yung mura siya o calculator lang. Then you have your input-output module. This one here is your input module, and this one here is your output module. So the input modules has terminals into which the users enters outside process electrical signals. So for example, in this case, your input module here is connected directly to your push buttons, your contacts, or limit switches. Of course, naani siya gitawag na to nga supply, okay, or signal. And then the signal will be transmitted if, for example, the push button is pushed. Then an electrical signal will be transmitted into your input module. Okay? So, yun na siya. Now, the output module has another set of terminals, this one here. It has another set of terminals that sends action signals to the process. So, if your processor, for example, transmits data towards your output module, the output module will send data to the output being controlled by your system. Let's say, for example, your solenoids, contactors, or alarm systems. No? So this output module will be the one that will send signal to your output of your system. Okay? So these are the major components of your PLC. Again, you have the central processing unit, which is this part here, which contains your processor, your memory, your power supply, okay? And then you have your programmer monitor or PMs, no? Programming devices. You have your keyboards and your monitor. And then you have your I/O, your input-output modules, wherein your input components or switches, for example, are connected. And in the output part, the output of the system which is being controlled. No? Let's say, for example, machines, alarm systems, or your contactors. Okay?